Like, why is it so small?
Welcome back to Backyard Gridiron Talk. I'm Addison.
I'm Frank.
We took a week off last week because I was battling a cold. Let me fix this camera. Colds suck. Probably should have fixed this earlier. There, that's better. So with that being said, a lot to go over. Maybe. I don't know. But real quick, catching you up on our picks. Week 4, since we were a couple weeks behind. Week 4, I finished 11-5. Frank finished 8-8, which gave me a 5-game lead. But then Frank responded with a 10-6 record week 5, and 9-7 for me. So it's a 4-game difference going into week 6. So with that being said, let's talk football as we do on this thing. Let's talk about.
You want to talk about your Steelers?
The piss poor Steelers.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah,
like
piss poor Steelers.
It was over by half.
It was over before it begun. No words can put into what I watched on Sunday. Turned it off in the second quarter. Did not turn it back on again after that. It's the
Who'd
earliest.
you pick to win that game?
I picked Pittsburgh because I was on the Kenny Pickett, first game.
Hype train, yeah.
Yeah, hype train. That was a homer pick. I don't do that all the time, but it's just so hard to explain because there's not much to explain except we're complete dog poop. I say poop. I'm trying to cuss less. There's no reason to get upset because it is just football. But also, it's like, this offense has some serious issues. And say what you want about the defense. Yeah, they were playing Josh Allen, best quarterback in the league. The high-powered defense is out there constantly. What are they going to do? They held them as long as they could. It was 10-3 in the second quarter. And then our offense just consistently kept going. 3-and-out. Why? Matt Canada. He is an idiot. Justin Herbert. Kenny Pickett actually didn't look too bad. He had one pick. It was at the end of the half trying to get something late. I turned it off before I saw that drive anyway. It was 24-3. I wasn't worried about it. And other than that, he had like over 300 yards. I'm like, that's not bad, but the problem is Canada's play calling throughout the first half was just horrendous. Absolutely the worst play calling I have ever seen on a college field, a high school field, or an NFL field. This guy should not be in the NFL, period. Not as a quarterback's coach, not as an offensive assistant.
Waterboy?
Not as a waterboy. He can't even paint the freaking lines on the field. He should not be in the NFL, period. Go back to college. Go back and fail as a Maryland head coach. Go ahead, please. By all means. We'd love to have you in the Big Ten, by the way. Go ahead, become Rutgers coach or something.
Hey, Penn State, undefeated.
I know.
Big matchup this week against Michigan.
Yeah. I'm
focused on them.
Oh, I am. Oh, I already told my wife. I'm like, I'm just focused on Penn State the rest of the year. I'm like, hey, I could give a rat's.
Could end this weekend. I want you to beat Michigan.
Oh, we'll beat Michigan. We got this. Yeah. And then we got a whiteout game against Minnesota, and then the clash against Ohio State. I really want to be undefeated playing Ohio State. Both of us, honestly.
Yeah.
It's going to be like as long as all the ducks fall in a row, it could be a top 3 matchup.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys beat Michigan,
we're going to jump up big time.
I mean, are you 8, 10?
We're 10.
10, and they're 4.
We're gonna jump some people.
Yeah.
And if Tennessee beats Alabama, they're probably gonna jump to like number 2 or something. But they're 6 right now, so it's possible.
Yeah.
But so they're the only ones that are like, because if Alabama win, I want Tennessee to win, but also it's like, sort of want Alabama to win because I want to pass up Tennessee.
I get that.
I don't want them to stay in front of us, but also I don't want Alabama to win. So. Anyway,
so
let me get this over.
Wrap it up. The Steelers are 8.
We suck.
They're going to be 1-7. They might be the Dolphins if they're third.
So we'll be 2-6 if we're lucky going into the bye week. So season's over. And it's the same pattern every year. And Tomlin hangs on to some of these coordinators, and it just baffles me why he came out and said he trusts Canada. I wouldn't
Yikes.
trust Canada if I was hanging off the edge of a cliff. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust Canada. Here, let's put it this way. I wouldn't trust Canada to go to my refrigerator, grab a Bud Light, and twist off the cap for me. Why? Because he'd probably fumble it or break it. Or he'd trip over and knock himself out on the fridge door.
Oh.
This guy is horrible. And please, if anyone in the Steelers organization watches this, doubt it. We get like 6 people watching this. If Canada is not fired by the end of the season, I'll give it to the end of the season because I've already given up on the season. If he's not fired at the end of the season, I'm done. Not as a Steeler fan. I'm just done.
You want Tomlin gone?
No, I'm done watching until they decide to make an educational move. And because it's the same crap every year, and I'm sick and tired of it. I'll look them up. I'm not going to spend money to watch them. Not going to go to a game. I'm not going to contribute to jersey sales. I'm not going to do any of that until Matt Canada's
One
fired.
losing season in this man's entire life.
Nope.
And he's not.
It's not that. It's not that. It's we won the Super Bowl back in 2008.
Oh.
All right. Since then,
You made the playoffs. You competed.
Yeah.
You haven't had a losing season.
I understand.
We went 131-1, and we
My-
fucking
my-
kept our coach.
All right, my problem
We
is
kept our coach.
you get people's hopes up just to get blown out in the playoffs.
Dude.
Figure it out. You have all this talent. You went through Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell in the prime of their careers, pre-CTE for Antonio Brown, and you're putting up 30, 40 points a game, and you can't win the Super Bowl? Like, what?
Listen,
Bill Belichick has that team. He won
Tom
5
Brady's
straight.
the GOAT.
All right, I'm just saying Bill Belichick has that team. I'm not even saying Tom Brady. Bill
know.
Belichick has that team. That's
You don't know
5
that.
straight Super
You don't
Bowls.
know that.
Not 5 straight, but in that span, it would have been like 3, 4. At least going to it. At least get there. Show some life. It's always the same thing every year. It's like this team is set up, not this year or last year, but this team is set up for, greatness,
I
winning
get
the Super Bowl. And they either don't make the playoffs, they finish 8-8, don't make the playoffs, or make the playoffs barely and get smacked by the Browns or the
Have one
Chiefs.
time.
Or I'm just saying.
Nonetheless, let's get away from the Steelers,
It's-
who got their freaking butts mollywopped, and we're still talking about them because you're having a meltdown, and I get it.
Well, Browns should be 5-0, and they're 2-3.
No, you're not wrong. And we've been in every single game. And one thing we can agree on, I would love Joe Woods fired. He's still here. It is what it is. At least we have
Stop
the
buying
talent.
jerseys. Stop buying jerseys. Don't go to the
That ain't
games.
going to make a difference, my guy.
Hey, it made a difference for the Cincinnati Bengals season ticket holders who boycotted their games until they put a winning team out on the field. True story.
Good for them.
They put a winning
I'm not-
team out
I'm
there,
a
and
real,
now they get.
I'm not doing that. I'm a fan.
I'm just saying. I'm a fan
I'm not
too.
gonna not
I'm
go to
still gonna.
games.
I'm still gonna follow them.
I'm not going to not
I'm
go to
just-
games because they're not firing the defensive coordinator. My
I-
point is,
No,
we lost.
I'd-
We should be 5-0. We're 2-3.
you're not understanding me though.
I don't care.
I'm still gonna watch them. I'm not
But-
going to contribute to sales.
That has nothing to do with that. You not buying a jersey is not going to get anybody fired.
If
My
more
point.
people join,
Yeah, well, nobody joining you, my guy.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we could very easily be 5-0. We sit here 2-3. I went to the Chargers game. I had a great time. We lost. Going into it, I wasn't expecting to win though, because the Chargers, pretty high-powered offense. Our defense was able to stop the pass. I mean, they went down the field a couple times, but again, to the Chargers, as they should. But we were able to hold them for under 300 yards, which is something that hasn't been done to him on the road, I don't think, at all this year. And it's been a minute since it's been done. We just can't stop the run. So we're probably going to lose to the Patriots because Bill Belichick will know, hey, just run the fucking ball because we can't stop it because we just give up 170 yards to Austin Eckler. And
I got a great idea.
what?
Matt Canada, offensive coordinator, Joe Woods, defensive coordinator. They can go to Bishop Sycamore
There you go.
because they're pretend NFL coordinators.
Oh my god.
It's perfect.
We could Matt Rule could go coach with them too.
Matt Rule,
Oh,
head
sweet.
coach.
First head coach fired of the year.
He will be the Nebraska head coach though,
Oh.
shortly enough.
Maybe, I don't know. He might want to sit out. He's getting paid $40 million a year not to coach.
True. All right. I don't think he's getting paid $40 million a year.
Or he's getting paid a stupid
$40 million
in total, not to coach.
Yeah.
Again, that's what I'm doing for the next 4 years.
I mean, hey,
it's $10 million a year to sit on my ass. But nonetheless, we lost. Came down to a field goal. It was like a 50-plus yarder. He missed it. We'd like to see him make it, all the hype, but I would like for us to have Nick Chubb. So we got a big 4th and 2 stop. We were basically in field goal range, and there was just under 2 minutes left, and we had a timeout. It's like 1:55. Why the fuck isn't Nick Chubb on the field? You hand the ball up to Nick Chubb, and he gets you fucking 5 yards.
I know.
He averaged 7 yards a carry that game.
He's on my fantasy team.
I know, he's a beast.
Yeah.
So hand him the fucking ball 3 times, and then you kick a fucking 35-yarder to win the game, and you go home a winner. But we fucking had Kareem Hunt on the field. We're fucking throwing the ball. Guys, we're the best player in football right now is Nick Chubb. Best running back, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not fucking using him when you have a timeout, and there's a minute 55, and you're already on the other side of the 50? Like, are we fucking stupid? Yes.
A little bit.
And that pisses me off, too. Like, Stefanski's...
You want to run the ball. I want to pass the ball.
But, like, when you're averaging 7 yards a fucking carry, you run the fucking ball.
Exactly.
And when you only need a field goal, like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
and
that's... I watched
you would love to
the
see
end
the
of
kid make it. He's a rookie. Like, I'm not going to score him. He's a fucking rookie.
Yeah.
He'll get better. I want to fucking fire Mike Prefer, too. His fucking bitch ass.
that. All right, he can join Bishop Sycamore's
But,
staff,
like,
too.
I'm not giving up on the rookie kicker yet. Like,
No.
he has a leg. He missed the fucking field goal.
He also won
the next
you.
Justin Tucker.
He also won
He also
you.
won us
Yeah.
our fucking first opening game of our life. My life, basically. Oh, someone's a little excited.
Well, that sucks because this is what brings the pen down.
But nonetheless, we're 2-3. We can't stop the run. We traded for Deion Jones, so we'll take that. We basically have nothing for
That's a
him.
good pickup.
We signed a defensive tackle, 7-year vet defensive tackle. I don't fucking know. We'll see what happens. Our offense is fucking humming though, like with the Brissett. Except stupid play calling. Nick Chubb needs to be on the field at all times. I almost wish we traded Hunt in the offseason. I love Kareem Hunt, and I love him as a Brown. But if we don't have him, he can't be on the field. It's like when we drafted Nick Chubb, we fucking had Carlos Hyde, and John Dorsey's like, fuck you, Jackson. I'm trading Carlos Hyde week 3, and then Nick Chubb is now the Nick Chubb we all know and love.
Yeah.
But because Hugh Jackson wouldn't fucking play Nick Chubb over Carlos Hyde because they want to play.
Hugh Jackson should be the head coach of Bishop Sycamore.
Right.
Matt Canada, offensive coordinator. Joe Woods, defensive coordinator. That is the worst team in the history of the world. Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it. 2 Browns end up on there, though.
Yeah, I don't care. Get rid of them. But, nonetheless, we lost. It was a good game. It was fun to be at. I was fucked up.
Jamarcus Russell, quarterback. Sorry, I'm just... all this is flooding in my head.
Every time we scored, I have to yell, fuck the Yankees. Fuck the Yankees. Go Tribe. Or Guards, whatever you want to call it.
Stand for the land.
But, yeah. So, with that being said, we should be 5-0. We're 2-3. But like you were saying earlier, Baltimore's only 3-2.
Yeah.
We haven't played them yet. We play well against them.
Crap.
We play well in our division. It's going to come down to that.
If you think about it, as much crap as I just gave Pittsburgh, we easily, sadly enough,
if your schedule was different, you would still be in it.
We could be 4-1, sadly enough, because we've been in every game except for the Buffalo game, and the Browns pulled away at the end, but we were in it, and it's the same thing for us. Yeah.
But if your October wasn't your October, Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, Eagles, you guys would be in at least it's hard when you're fucking 1-7 or 2-6 to get motivated.
After the
if you're 4-3,
after the bye week, I believe our hardest game is Baltimore.
Right.
After the bye week.
Well, that's with our stretch. We started with the Chargers, and we have the Patriots this weekend, and then we have Cincinnati, Baltimore, and then we have a bye, and then we have Dolphins, Bills, Bucks, and then Watson comes back. And it's that's the hardest stretch, which whatever. That's why it's so annoying that we're 2-3 when we can be 5-0.
I feel like they're still capable. They showed that they're capable of winning.
Well, I think we can compete in every game.
As long as they can finish.
Yeah, our defense needs to wake the fuck up and stop the run.
Yeah, I know. That was supposed to be your strong suit.
If we could stop the run...
Jacoby Brissett was not supposed to be playing, leading that offense.
He did have a terrible
better
interception.
Than the defense.
We were fucking 3rd and 5.
Oh, that
And
was
he
at the
threw
end
the-
of the game, right?
Yeah, and ended up getting the ball back, so people don't talk about it because like we had a chance to win. But like he could have ran that ball in, or even just ran it out of bounds and like got under 2-minute warning, taking the all we needed was a field goal. And it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Like it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But like again, Sean Watson probably scores on that play, or I mean he would definitely run in from where he was at. But nonetheless,
Let's talk about teams that were successful.
yeah, really. You're not lying.
Kansas City, I think they're proving that they're just
That was a great game.
they're just unreal. Same with Buffalo.
Travis
I
Kelce.
mean,
Love
Bills and Chiefs this week. Let's
Yeah.
freaking go. For the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career, he is a home underdog.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. That game is going to be like 54-52. It's going to be like that Rams and Chiefs game
Yeah.
like a couple years ago.
Yeah. That was nuts in Mexico City.
Yeah.
I think that next best game this week, very surprising. I don't think either of us would have said this was going to be a good game. Cowboys-Eagles, because the Cowboys are 4-1. The Eagles
Cooper
are
Rush.
5-0.
You know, I hate the Cowboys, but I'm loving Cooper Rush.
That defense has played unreal too. I mean, I picked them last week strictly because they were playing a terrible offensive line in the Rams. Like I think this week it's going to be a good matchup, but at the end of the day, I think the Eagles are just more like the Eagles don't really have a weakness offensively.
No.
And which doesn't mean Dallas can't stop them. It just makes it more difficult to stop them, and it makes Cooper Rush going to have to do more. It's going to make him have to make more plays, which I'm not saying he can't, but he's going to have to do more in this game than he's done, I feel like, the whole season.
Yeah. No, good points. And also, Rams, another team that looks super disappointing.
Yeah, they're the same record as the Browns, so
Yeah.
2-3.
And Rams they're 2-3, but they could easily be 0-5.
Right.
They're
Both their wins have been close, and
yeah, they're
easily gone the other way for sure.
yeah, they're not looking good. Like
No.
honestly, they're probably, I would say, the biggest disappointment thus far. This
Yeah, I
season.
mean, they definitely had the hype coming off the Super Bowl. All they really lost defensively was Von Miller, but you added Bobby Wagner. So,
like
it's an
the
even
Bengals
trade-off.
are 2-3 as well, but the Rams are a lot worse.
Both
2
of
and
their,
3.
I think for them, it's just been both of their offensive lines have been very poor, and it shows. Like when you have a bad offensive line, you can't protect your quarterback, and you can't run the ball. It's very hard to
I
produce offensively.
Yeah,
and Matt Stafford only passes to white people apparently. My God.
Well, the difference between Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow this year, they both have poor offensive lines. They both can't run the ball. That's right. The difference is Burrow doesn't make stupid throwing mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I would say the Bengals are the better 2-3.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
And the Rams,
the Bengals could be. Bengals have been in every game.
In my opinion,
so.
the Rams are lucky to be 2-3 at this point.
Yeah.
Thus far, they could easily be
I mean,
0-5.
You look, if the Bengals don't lose their long snapper week 1, they might beat you guys. At least it doesn't go as long.
Then we would have been 0-5.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, okay, they might miss a field goal, but they're not missing 3. You know what I mean? And then last week they lost, and it came down to Justin Tucker, who, by the way, made a field goal. The kick literally could have went through an upright this fucking big. That's how accurate it was. And
Justin Tucker's
like,
him and
unreal.
Daniel Carlson's getting up there with
Yeah.
Justin Tucker
Yeah.
too. I mean, I have Daniel Carlson on my fantasy team.
He got you 16 points.
Yeah, he got me 16. And if you look at his layout for the entire year, he's been double-digit scorer every
There you go.
game.
There you
And
go.
it's a kicker.
Right.
Like he's. I feel like I could trade him for something, but I'm not. I'm not going to because
Is he on the block?
it's hard. It's hard to come by kickers that give you double digits each week.
No, yeah,
So-
for sure.
So he's definitely the number one kicker in fantasy. So love to see it. Dude's made like 37, 38 straight field goals.
Yeah.
It's insane, and it hasn't been chip shots for all of them.
No,
he made a
no.
couple 50-yarders
He's
in
got a
the
leg
Chiefs
on him.
game. It's
Yeah.
been 50-yarders galore. What was it, like 40, 50-yarder at the end of the season last year to eliminate the Chargers? You know.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy
No,
at all.
he's been he's got a leg on him. He's been killing it.
Also, before we get into picks, I want to just acknowledge the fact that the New York Giants are legit.
Yeah, that was
They beat the Packers in London.
over in London. They stopped them.
4-1.
Rodgers, it came down to a 4th down play. Rodgers had Dobbs open, but he didn't see him. He went tried to make a throw that it got batted down, but I don't think it would have been completed even if he made it. It was the guy was almost out of bounds. But he had Dobbs open, he missed them, and the Giants, hey, Brian Daboll got that boy playing. Saquon, I'll admit, I've been the biggest Saquon hater because, like, have been. But, like, he's had a great season, and he's finally healthy. And he's in a freaking offense that knows how to utilize him. Brian Daboll's,
and
it's surprising because he came from the Bills who had no running game. But Saquon,
the biggest thing is Giants have an offensive line finally.
Yeah.
They're able to have Danny Dimes hang in there.
And he's not making them do too much. Hey,
and
use your weapons. Here's a screen to Saquon. Here, you know what I mean? Here's a dig and dump. Don't force anything.
And that leads to better decision making on Daniel Jones.
And he hasn't fumbled as much, which has been helpful.
Well, and that's the thing. Like
turnovers would always kill them.
And I think the difference, Brian Daboll's bringing a lot of greatness to the Giants this year, and I think the huge difference between Daniel Jones's coaches in the past is he throws a pick, they just pat him on the head, get him back to the sideline. Right. Daniel Jones sits on the bench. Brian Daboll goes over, like, what are you looking at? Like, he's telling him, like...
Right. He's trying to coach him up. Right.
He's coaching. He's doing his job because you see this with a lot of coaches, and I know what you're going to say. You see it with Mike Tomlin. Every time there's a mistake, it's like, come on. Like, they're going to keep making it. Like, I mean, you need to lay into him. You need to be a You need to be a dick sometimes.
Stefanski doesn't lay into anybody. I get it.
I know. He's another one.
I know.
He's like... interception. He's like looking at his sheet like that wasn't supposed to happen.
I mean, it's Jacoby Brissett. What am I going to do? The man's seen fucking everything. Last year, I think, honestly, when Baker wouldn't sit out last year, I think Stefanski was like, fuck this guy. I think it's just been out.
The only
I didn't want to believe it because I'm like, are we not mature grown-ups here? But I think that's honestly
there's 4 quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion, that you can just do this after
Rodgers,
a bad mistake.
Mahomes, Allen, and Brady.
Boom. Done. No other quarterback deserves that little pat on the head when they make a mistake. Not one. Only those 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Rodgers, understandably so, he has no one to pass it to. And Brady, he's just Brady.
And it's not like Rodgers.
And then Mahomes and Allen, they're allowed to make a mistake every now and then.
And both Rodgers and Brady also know that they'll go back and they'll fix the mistake themselves because they understand it. Obviously, they fucking made a mistake.
I mean, the same with Allen and
Right, but
they don't really make mistakes.
I mean, Rodgers only had 4 interceptions last year, so like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just more like, hey, pay attention and like, see what's there. But yeah, nonetheless, good for the Giants. Good for the G-Men. Hey, the Jets are 3-2 too.
Yeah, look at New York.
Look at New York.
I mean, screw the Yankees.
Yeah, fuck the Yankees.
And the Mets didn't show up.
Choke Mets. How's Francisco Lindor? We got far in the playoff series and you're paying them all that money. You bums.
Yes.
Sorry. That was
all right.
Football podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get. With that being said,
let's start off with a thriller. Thursday Night Football. I don't know if it can get any better. I mean, it's going to be better than last week's game. It's got to be better than last week's game.
It has to be.
It's got to be.
Nothing can be worse than that.
We got the Commies going to Chicago to visit the Bears. Carson Wentz. Ron Rivera threw Carson Wentz under the bus this week, basically saying, bunch. He was like, why do you think everybody else in your division is good when you're the Giants who are 4-1 and the Cowboys who are 4-1 and the Eagles who are 5-0 and the Commanders who are 1-4? And he goes, quarterback play. And it's like, okay, wow. That's good answer, Ron Rivera. Way to back the bus up. So, yeah, I'm taking the Bears. It's a Thursday night game. Always lean towards the home team. Oh, fuck the Broncos. Let's ride. Get out of here with the Broncos. Every week we have to say this shit.
The Broncos. Why did I pick them to win the division? I regret that decision.
I mean, I picked the Raiders, and I think my pick was still a little bit better.
Yeah.
At least they competed
Raiders
with the Chiefs on Monday.
1-4.
Yeah, but they were in the game. But yeah, I'm going with Chicago at home. Thursday night game. Who you taking?
I'm taking Chicago.
Yeah, I
Commanders
figured. All right, next game we got the Niners going to the Falcons. Who you taking?
It's gonna be close. I think.
mean, every time a West Coast team has to travel to the East Coast,
Atlanta's not a pushover, but I'm still taking San Francisco.
I'm taking the Niners as well. That defense is nice. Yeah, and they're humming, and if they can stop the run, which they do, they should be fine. Next, we have the New England Patriots coming here to Cleveland, Ohio to face the Browns. Who you got?
Patriots did look good against the Lions,
Yeah.
29-0 when we both picked Detroit.
Yeah, fucking Detroit.
I don't know what that was. They
Neither do
just
I.
decided to, we don't have the number one offense anymore. So Amon St. Brown did nothing. It was.
No,
I
but
still
he had
won
0
though.
points.
Thank you, Travis Kelce. I still won
Yeah.
that week. But with that being said, I just feel like Patriots aren't going to have 2 consistent games in a row playing like that in Cleveland. They could easily be 5-0. I'm taking the Browns.
All right, I'm taking the Patriots. Until we stop the run, I'm not taking the Cleveland the rest of the
This
year.
might be the first time in the history of the world
until
that
we
I
prove that
took
we can
the
stop the
Cleveland
run,
Browns
I'm
and
taking the
he
Patriots.
did not. Wow.
I'm taking every team we
You
play
sound like
until
me.
we can
See,
stop the
you're
run.
getting butthurt now.
I'm not butthurt.
You're getting butthurt now.
I'm not butthurt.
I just said I didn't
We
want to buy
can't stop the
jerseys.
run.
I didn't say I'm not going to pick Pittsburgh ever again.
We can't stop the run. Bill Belichick,
They have.
they're going to run the ball down our throat. They did it to the Bills. Why the fuck did they do it to us?
Is it in Cleveland?
Yes.
All the more reason I'm taking. They're gonna. The Browns are gonna.
Listen, I want the Browns to win, but until you stop the run.
Browns are gonna win.
Next game, we got the Jets going to Green Bay. Hey, Jets are hot.
Hey, Green Bay already lost to one New York team. Not gonna happen this time though. I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers. They're at home, and I mean, I don't think it's not. I think the Jets could probably compete. I don't know. The Jets are so weird. They beat you guys, which
They want to compete.
they beat them. They won last
They're
year.
undecided on
But
what they want
because
to do.
look, their 3 wins are a game where they had less than 1% chance to beat us, less than 2 minutes left. A Steelers game where you changed your quarterback halfway through the game,
Which helped, but then our defense went to sleep.
and then the Dolphins game where their 3rd string quarterback came in. There's no reason they should win, but they're 3 wins. But yeah, I'm taking the Packers.
The Jets don't know what they want to do.
Next game, we have the Jags going to the Colts.
This is boring.
It'll still be better than the Broncos game.
I
last
thought,
week.
everything's going to be better. The Bills and Steelers game was probably better than the Broncos game.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I don't know because Jacksonville they looked better, but then
their defense is good,
They're
though.
back to being Jacksonville, but then the Colts they can beat the Chiefs, but nobody else. So it's
They
like,
beat the Broncos with 4 field goals.
and they scored touchdowns against the Chiefs, and they can
know.
only score field goals against the Broncos.
I'm
don't
taking
know.
Jacksonville simply because I believe in their defense.
I hate this game so
it's
much.
such a terrible game.
It's so bad. Where is it at? Indy?
It's in Indy.
I'm taking Indy.
All right.
They've won 8 of their last 9 against Jacksonville in Indianapolis.
You just
That's-
got shit off the dome.
I saw that on ESPN this morning or on NFL Network.
All right, we got Minnesota at Miami. Miami's starting the 3rd string quarterback.
Yeah.
We're both taking the Vikings.
Yeah, no question.
Ooh, Cincinnati at New Orleans. New Orleans has been disappointing. Cincinnati's been in games. I'm taking Cincy. It's in New Orleans though, so it's a toss up in my opinion.
It's gonna be interesting. I don't trust New Orleans, but then again, I don't trust Cincinnati right now either. But I'm still taking them.
Ooh, this is another good game. We got Baltimore at the New York Giants. I mean,
Ooh,
Giants are 4-1. I don't know if I picked them once this year, but I don't want to take them in this game either.
oh my goodness.
Because if the Giants defense can stop Lamar, I'm going to take Baltimore because I just think Lamar can
You know
win
what?
games, but
Sooner or later,
I think the Giants.
you gotta hop on the bandwagon
Dude.
train and not fall off. I'm taking the Giants.
All right, this is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be real hard. We got Tampa and Pittsburgh. I'm taking
Very
Tampa.
hard. I'm taking the Bucks.
Same. All right, let's get into our 4:00 games. We have Carolina with their back. PJ Walker against the Rams, who have
That
struggled.
team makes
but
me want to fall asleep.
They just fired Matt Rule.
Two.
Will Carolina have a crazy win because Matt Rule's gone? I'm going to say no because Aaron Donald's going to, I think, take over this game, and the Rams are going to have to bounce back. Find a way to win.
The Rams look like dogs, but not as bad as the Carolina. So I'm taking the Rams.
All right, we have Arizona going to Seattle. to deal with the 12th man up there. It's a division game. Division games usually are always close. Seattle at home, you love to see it. You'd love to think that Kyler Murray's going to make a mistake. Cliff Kingsbury's going to make a mistake. They're going to end up losing.
Seattle, baby.
You taking Seattle?
I'm taking
I'll
Seattle.
take Arizona. I don't know. Like
Arizona.
I don't want to, but like Arizona should. Like if Arizona, like I say every fucking week,
12th man.
if they're a team
Gonna
that
be
they
the
think they
difference.
are, they should win this fucking
Geno
game.
Smith's going to put up 400 yards, and 12th man's going to win Seattle the game.
Absolutely, game of the week: Buffalo at Kansas City. First time, like you said earlier, Patrick Mahomes underdog at home. Who you taking?
Oh, all right. So
Game of the week for sure.
Clearly, this year Buffalo has been the best team. Clearly, Kansas City has been second best in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is the matchup for the ages. All I can say is 13 seconds. I'm taking Kansas City.
Wow, he went there. I hope nobody from Buffalo is watching this because that hurt me.
Well, when they
Yeah.
try to take out a rookie quarterback's legs, I'm always going to remind them of 13 seconds.
I'm taking Buffalo. I think it's going to be back and forth game. Anybody can win it. I might as well take Buffalo, so it's interesting in our picks.
Might as well.
Then I think
Let's go. Chiefs.
great Sunday night game. We have Dallas going to undefeated Philly, 4-1 versus 5-0. I'm taking Philly because they're at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And I think they're the more complete team. Don't get me wrong. I think Dallas has been playing really well. I love their defense. I love Philly's O-line. And I don't think Dallas is going to be able to take advantage of the opportunities because they're playing such a well-rounded team. I think it's going to be a great game. I think we'll be back and forth. I think Cooper Rush is going to have to make more plays, and I don't know if he's going to... I haven't seen him. He hasn't had to do it yet. So I'm going to take the Eagles. That defense has been awesome and lights out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great game Sunday night, finally. You know, Cowboys-Eagles, the game that we actually want to
About
tune
time.
into. It took
it's
10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I would have been happy with Buffalo and Kansas City.
Right. But that's the national game of the week, so we'll still get that
we'll
on
still see
CBS.
it, yeah. With that being said, Dallas, I mean, they apparently can't lose with Cooper Rush, but the Eagles' defense, offensive line, every aspect of that Eagles team is the exact opposite of how I felt about it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So they really come a long way, and they're going to be 6-0.
And that is Buffalo Kansas City is the only CBS game at 4 o'clock.
Rightfully
Just
so. Hey,
everybody
if
knows.
somebody wants to watch
You
the
should be able to watch it, no
Broncos
matter
and
what.
Raiders, that's your own problem.
Speaking of fucking Broncos, NFL,
Oh, here we go.
we got Monday Night Football. We got Let's Ride.
Oh my God,
We got to watch this team again. I mean, at least they're
Why?
playing the Chargers. It's in
That's
LA,
so boring.
which both LA
I think
teams
it's
are home this
pretty
weekend.
clear
That's
who we're
crazy.
picking.
Both LA teams are home this weekend. They got to change the stadium in 24
That's
hours.
interesting.
But yeah, no, I'm taking the Chargers.
I think
Listen,
it's a
NFL.
no-brainer. Let's
Stop
not
fucking
ride.
playing the Broncos.
We don't want to ride anymore.
Nobody wants to
please.
watch the Broncos, man.
Nobody wants to hop on this
Roger,
ride.
do something about it. I know it's a Monday night. You can't
Roger
really,
can't.
you can't do shit.
Goodell's not
But
gonna
if
do
he's
anything.
flex about any more primetime games
Just
during
as
the rest
bad
of
as
the year.
Matt. Brain blast. Roger Goodell, owner
Of-
of Bishop Sycamore.
There we go.
There it is.
Hey, that's
I'm gonna map out an entire team
of Bishop Sycamore.
of Bishop Sycamore. I'm gonna start it.
Oh.
I'll,
So
I'll,
excited.
I'll come back with you. I'm not going to pick out offensive players. I'm not going to pick out offensive line or anything like
No.
that because there's so many of them
Yeah.
that failed. But quarterback, a couple wide receivers, running back, a tight end. No, tight ends are tight ends.
Yeah.
I'm going to point out the biggest spots like corners, linebackers, coaches.
Yeah.
And I'll come back with that of our Bishop Sycamore, the NFL team.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
We'll
that should be
definitely
fun. I'm excited for this. Owner.
get on that. Roger, get down.
All right. But
Right.
with that being said, tune in next week.
Yeah.
Just remembered, by the way, we never did that T-shirt giveaway. We
Yeah,
said we were going
I
to do
know.
a long time ago.
Well, no one complained about it.
But
So.
no one complained about it. There's only been 2 comments, so we're gonna you guys got to up the comments here. So we're going to wait until the end of the season. Not the end of the season, but like the end of the regular season, not
Yeah, I know
all the way
football
past the
season.
Super Bowl. So we'll wait till the end of the regular season, just because I want to give more than just 2 people the opportunity to
Correct. to get that
get
t-shirt.
it. So comment on this video.
God damn.
Crying out loud. Make fun of me for not buying a jersey.
Make fun of him.
fun of Frank because he doesn't want to pick his team because
We can't stop the run,
and we can't run. We can't do anything.
and that's why I didn't pick Pittsburgh.
We can't do anything.
You picked them last week, and you knew they couldn't do
I
anything.
know. It was
Okay.
out of the Kenny Pickett's
I know.
his first career start. That was my only homer pick of the year. All right, I'm allowed one of those because you usually do a lot. But so far, this is back-to-back weeks you didn't pick the Browns.
Yeah, I'm just
That's-
saying. It's the third time I haven't picked them this year.
Third?
I think.
No, it's
No,
second
it's
time.
only the second.
Yeah, it was only the second. I keep track.
Oh, you know.
I'm just kidding.
But
But,
nonetheless,
yeah. With that being said, that's all we have today.
yeah.
Best of luck with your fantasy teams, except for the people in my leagues. And look forward to Thursday night football. I'm not, but you can if you want.
If you really want to.
I'm more looking forward to Buffalo, Kansas City, and then Philadelphia and Dallas. I think those are no-brainers, the best games of the week. So,
Yeah, for sure.
any final thoughts?
No, good luck to your teams out there, fantasy and your football.
Except for the people in your league, you know.
I mean, it is what it is. I like to win. I'm doing pretty good.
I'm 4-1 in 2 of my leagues, and 3-2 and 2-3 the others.
I'm 3-2 in 5 leagues, 4-1 and 1 and 0-5 and 1.
And my 2-3 team, I think, is better than my 3-2 team. It's just the matchups,
Yeah,
how they fall into place. But my best team is in our main league. I mean, that's the
There you
best
go.
team I've ever had.
yeah. I'm doing well in that league too.
Yeah,
You
so
know, love
we'll
Lamar. That's right, baby.
I got Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey, Macho, we're gonna make a trade after this week. You'll trade me Jalen Hurts when he's on his bye week. So that's the goal.
Macho's not going to trade.
He almost did. He needs
I
to
don't
make a
know.
trade.
I don't know. But anyway,
Hey,
let's go.
Thank you for watching
Thank
and
you.
listening.
Thank
we'll see
you.
you
We
next
appreciate
week,
it. Yeah.
hopefully.
We'll see you.
God willing.
Yeah.
We'll see you. We'll see you.
If these teams don't, if our teams don't make us too upset, we'll have an episode. But if they do, you know, you might not see us.
Yeah. We'll see
We'll
what
fake
happens.
a cold again. Just kidding. All right, but that's all we have. Tune in next week. Thanks.